Okay, let's get started with Unit 8. Let's get started with Unit 8. Remember to fingerspell the word as you see it on the screen and then sign it with me. Our first sign is family. The sign for family. Take two F hands and it goes in a circle. Family. Family. All right, now the sign for parents. The sign for parents, it's just taking the sign for mom and dad and putting it together. So, parents. All right, now the sign for mother or mom, we have mom, mom. All right, now we have the sign for grandmother or grandma. It's just like mother, but it bounces outward. So, grandma. All right, now the sign for father or dad. We have father, father. All right, grandfather. Make sure your finger's spelling these. Grandfather, grandfather. All right, now the sign for aunt. Here, the sign for aunt is an A hand circling by your jaw, so aunt. All right, now the sign for uncle is a U hand and it circles by your head, so uncle. All right, now cousins. The sign for cousin in general is a C hand circling by your cheekbone, but if you specifically mean a girl cousin or a boy cousin, it changes where it starts. So we have the sign for cousin as in a male is up by your head. And we have the sign for female cousin is going to circle closer to your jaw. So if you notice, male signs are high on the head and female signs are low on your jaw. So now we have husband. Husband. So starting at your forehead, husband. All right, now the sign for wife. The sign for wife. It starts at your jaw, wife. Wife. All right, now the sign for baby. It's just like you're cradling a baby, so baby. Baby. All right, now the sign for daughter. You sign girl, baby. So, daughter. So, can anyone guess what son will be? Son is boy, baby. Boy, baby. All right, now the sign for children. It's like you're patting the children on their head. So, the sign for children. All right, now the sign for kids is a little bit different. Kids. 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 All right, now the sign for nephew. Remember your masculine feminine rules. So nephew is high on the forehead. Nephew. So what do you think niece would be? Niece. By your jaw. Niece. All right, so now to discuss step families. Step family, you're going to use the sign for step. There's actually two signs to say step. There's step, and we also have the sign for step. Step. All right, so as an example, if we were going to sign stepmom using these two ways, there is stepmom, or you can do stepmom. All right, now the sign for marriage or marry. Marriage, similar to the ones for husband and wife. Marriage. All right, now the sign for introduce is introduce. Introduce. All right, now the sign for wedding. For somebody's wedding is wedding. Wedding, like the bride and the groom holding hands. All right, engaged is an E hand on your ring finger, so engaged. Engaged. Now the sign for love. Love. Two S hands and you sign love. Love, kind of like a hug. All right, now the sign for separated. The sign for separated. is separated. Separated. Now the sign for divorced or divorce is two D hands and they separate and turn apart. So divorce. All right, now if somebody's getting back together, the sign is back together. Back together. Now friends, the sign for friends is two X hands and it bounces. Friends. All right, if you're really good friends, not quite best friends, but really good friends, it's good friends. Good friends. So there's no bounce to it. It just stays. And then best friends, you're going to take an R hand and you shake it. All right, now the sign for going steady, as in dating somebody seriously. So we have going steady. Going steady. All right, now the sign for dating casually or going on a date are two D's and they come together. So date. Date. All right, now the sign for boyfriend. You're just going to mix the two signs, boy and friend. Boy, friend. All right, so girlfriend, what can you guess girlfriend's going to be? Girl, friend. Girl, friend. All right, so now roommates. Roommates, you're going to take two curled five hands and you're going to mix them together like both people's things are being mixed together. Roommate. All right, grow up together. The sign for grow up together is grow up together. Grow up together. All right, now we're going to talk about time references. So the sign for now. There are two signs for now. There's now, or just slightly changing the hand shape, there's now. Now. All right, now we have the sign for today. There are two signs for today. There is where you add now and day together. So, today. Or you can bounce the now. So, today. Okay, now we're going to talk about signs from the past, starting with the sign for yesterday. Notice the way these signs move. So, yesterday. Yesterday. All right, our next sign for the past is a sign for past. Again, notice which direction it's moving. Past. Past. All right, our next sign is used to. Like you used to do something is used to. Again, notice which direction it's moving. Used to. All right, we have the sign for recently. Recently. Again, notice the direction. Recently. Recently. All right, now the sign for long ago or once upon a time is long ago. Long ago. All right, now the sign for before. Before is before. So if you notice, all the signs for the past, like before, are moving backwards. Now let's look at the signs for future signs, like after. Watch the direction they move. After. So it moves forward. After. All right, now we have the sign for tomorrow is tomorrow. So it's the opposite of yesterday. Tomorrow. Now the sign for future or will, like you will do something, is future. Future. All right, the sign for later. The sign for later is an L hand and it's later. Later. All right, the sign for after a while, again, still moving forward, is after a while. After a while. And then the last one, far in the future, is far in the future. Far in the future. All right, if you notice that little hashtag, that means that we're going to fingerspell the word in some way. And it's all. So you're really impressed with all of what's going on. So all. All right, the sign for since. Since. We've learned this. It's since. Since. All right, now the sign for of course. Of course. Of course, or naturally. Of course. Now the sign for really, sure, or true is really? Really? All right, the sign for realize or realized is an R hand circling around your head. So realize. Realize. All right, now the sign for long is in a long day. A long period of time is long. Long, like a long period of time. Now talking about a short period of time is short. Short. Now the sign for time, like what time is it? You're looking for a specific time, is time, like you're pointing at a watch. Time. Now if you're talking about time as in like a time period or an era, it changes a little bit. It's a T hand circling around a clock. So, time. All right, now the sign for birthday. The sign for birthday. There are 3 signs for the sign for birthday. There's birthday, which means my arrival. So birthday. Or there is birthday, which is just taking the 2 signs birthday and putting them together. Birthday. Or there's the more common one, which is birthday. So that's a 25 hand. Birthday. All right, now the sign for seams. We've learned this already. Seams is seams. Seams, kind of like a princess wave. All right, the next sign is together or with, and it's together. Together. All right, now the sign for finish. There's a lot of ways to use finish, but here's the sign, finish. Finish. All right, the sign for movie is movie. Movie. And then the sign for two of us, which we'll talk about during class, is two of us. Two of us. All right, that's the end of Unit 8. So remember to be practicing every day, and I'll see you in class next week.